All right, Grizzly Risley here, more on factoring. So nothing really new today, just a little more review, except one new thing, one tiny, 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 tiny little thing. If your leading coefficient is negative, so at the start of your problem, you see a negative sign. So look at all these. Okay, so this is for all these. Then you must factor out a -1 first. That's it. Then it's the same as yesterday. All right, so you see a problem. It says to factor. If the front number is negative, you have to divide every single piece by a -1 first. So let's do it. Well, dividing by a -1 just means it changes the sign, right? So a negative divided by a negative will be now positive 3x squared. 10x divided by -1 is just going to become negative 10x. And 8 divided by -1 is just going to become -8. All right, so that part's easy. And now you have to do what we did yesterday and factor this new piece here. Okay, let's do it. So you're going to draw your two parentheses. Okay, of course this is the hard one with a number out front, but that's okay. All right, we got to get 3x squared. So what's got to go here and here to get 3x squared? It's got to be a 3x and a 1x. Okay, now the hard part. Now we need two numbers that multiply to -8, but at the same time the order matters, and the inners plus the outers have to add to -10. Okay, so it's guess and check. You're just going to go till you get it. All right, let's make a little list. What are some possibilities? What are some ways to multiply to -8? It could be 8 and 1, or it could be 4 and 2. But keep in mind, if it's -8, then one of them is going to have to be negative, and we don't know which one goes where. All right, now's the time to just pause the video and try. Are you feeling lucky with 8 and 1? Are you feeling lucky with 4 and 2? I'm going to give you guys a hint. I think it's going to be the 4 and the 2. So play around. Should the 4 go here and the 2 go here? Or should the 2 go here and the 4 go here? And also remember, one of them has to be negative. This one's hard. Okay, I'm going to put the 4 here and the 2 here, because then I see a 2 and a 12. And if I make the 12 negative and the 2 positive, I'll get -10. 2 plus -12 is -10. That's it. Oh, and then if you divided out a -1 to start, make sure you put that -1 out front. So this is your final answer. If you were to distribute all this, you would get back to what you started with. That's all. All right, let's just do one more, number 4. All right, it says to factor, so you need to start by, if the front number is negative, you always want to divide out a -1 first. So go ahead and divide every single piece by -1. So this becomes positive 3x squared, this becomes positive x, and this becomes -2. Okay, this is what we're factoring. So draw your parentheses, and I would try it on your own without listening to me. Okay, so we need to get 3x squared. So what goes here and what goes here to get 3x squared? And you would hopefully say 3x and 1x. Okay, everyone's got that part down. Now, this one's not terrible. What are two numbers that multiply to -2? But the order matters, because then the inners plus the outers have to add to 1. So keep that in mind when you do this. Okay, we don't really need a list on this one because the only ways to multiply to 2 are 1 times 2. So 1's going to be a 1 and 1's going to be a 2, and one of them's got to be negative in order to make negative 2. So this one's not too bad. So which one goes where? Well, see, if you put the 2 here and the 1 here, you would have 1 and 6, which is not going to help us get 1. But if you put the 2 here and the 1 here, I think we can get it. Okay, let's see. If you want a positive 1 in the middle, we need a positive 3 and a negative 2. So the positive here and the negative here. So positive 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, got it. So that's the answer, except since you divided out a negative 1 in the beginning, we have to put it out front. So that is officially the final answer. All right, cool. That's it for today. I'm going to stop it here, but if anybody wants to keep going, I'll do one more. You know, the back side is just old review, so those aren't, we're not going to do any of those. Okay, so if anybody wants, I'll do number 2. But feel free to stop now. All right, if the leading coefficient is negative, we have to divide everything by negative 1. And that makes it positive 2y squared, positive 5y, and positive 3. All right, draw your 2 parentheses. And let's get started. First ones need to multiply to 2y squared. So what goes here and what goes here? If you want to get 2y squared, it's got to be 2y and 1y. Okay? And then we need 2 numbers here and here that multiply to 3. But again, keep in mind the order matters because the inners plus the outers have to add to 5. Again, we don't really need a list. The only way to get 3, it's got to be 3 and 1 or 1 and 3. Oh, and it's positive, positive. So we know that they're both going to be positive. All right, play around. What goes where? 3 and 1 or 1 and 3. And they're both positive. What's a way to get 5? So it should be, let's see, it's probably got to be the 1 here and the 3 here. Because then 3 plus 2 is 5. That's it. All right, so that is the answer. But then again, if you divide it out a negative 1, make sure you attach it out front. So that is the fully factored answer. All right, nice job, guys. That's all.